before being diagnosed with endometriosis and having been diagnosed in 2019, my first OBGYN never told me that I would be so debilitated, I would be disabled, I would be on disability at the age of 33 with um, this disease. Let me backtrack a little bit. I was CNA for about 7 years, and I was going to college for my nursing degree, and da 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 da. I was living kind of a normal life, I should say. And in my early 20s, it was just like every time I have a menstrual cycle, I just was like, okay, well, it's a bad period. Or um, I would be going in the ER in my early 20s because I would have chocolate cysts on my ovaries, and they would do ultrasounds, they would do pelvic exams and all this, and they'd be like, nope, your blood work clean, you're all clean, you got a clean bill of health, you're good to go, you're good, like you're fine, right? But then why am I all in this pain? Why am I being seen like this? I even had a nurse question me, well, what kind of meds are these? What kind of meds are these? Because they literally think you are drug seeking. And I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've went into the ER and been like, you are drug seeking. No, I'm not. I'm not. I've been medically gaslighted so long, so many times. That's besides the point. Anyways, a little bit later on during my mid 20s, I would say mid 20s, like 25, 26. I was still going in the ER, getting these chocolate cysts and stuff. And that's when I ended up seeing just a regular doctor and saying that, all right, you've been on the same birth control probably since like you were in high school, so let's change this up. I was still having pain. I felt like my ovaries were on fire. Like I didn't know what was going on. Then I did some research. I did my own research, like, I don't know, when I was 27. And I was like, all right, well, this is endometriosis. I was going for my nursing degree and all that, stuff like that. I was kind of like, okay, this is the medical terminology thing. I'm going to kind of combine it and see. And I did some research and all this. I'm like, I think I got that. I didn't really know much of it, but it was just looking up what it was telling me. I'm like, I think I got this. Anyways, I was still working as a CNA. This is getting to the time where, okay, well, I was still going to work, but I was calling in a lot because I thought I was having the flu. I was puking. I was tired. I was just not feeling like myself. And then, I quit my job as nursing, and I was no longer able to work because I was just she's like, you can't work, just you can't do this and that, like you can't pick and choose when you want to work. And I'm like, all right, well, anyways, I started working at Bible camp, and this was like in the year 2019. I started working at Bible camp. I quit my job as a CNA, and I was no longer able to work then, and it kind of crushed me because I lost my CNA license card, and it was really sad because I worked really hard for that. And anyways, I started working at Bible camp, and that's kind of when I started walking with God, and everything changed. Everything changed. In 2019, after I worked at the camp during the summer, I actually went to go see my OBGYN because the doctor at the time that I was seeing, he referred me to her, and and he's like, you probably need to go see this. This is something's going on, da 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 da. I'm like, all right, well, so I saw this OBGYN, and she's like, have you ever had a laparoscopy? Because that was the only way to diagnose endometriosis. And I said no. And she's like, all right, well, let's do that. And hopefully we'll get, so she did that. It came back. My bowels were adherent to my abdominal wall. Um, It was in my pelvic area. It was on my ovaries, and it was not something that you think you're gonna be like saying you got cancer. There's no treatment for it. There's nothing but treatment options for it. There's nothing. Not even hysterectomy is a cure. There is no cure for it. Um, she said she did find some of this, but she never told me what stage it was, and the in-depth detail of what endometriosis is. So I just thought it was like, all right, well, you could do the surgery and we're ready to go. Hands tied. We're good. We're good. I don't need to do anything else from here. I'm good. I had the surgery and I'm good. Well, little did I find out that about a year later, I started having pain again. And this was still, I was still working at the Bible camp and I was like a program director at the time. Then that COVID hit. Well, we weren't open for that. And it was like, I'm on the Depo-Provera now. I've gained like 50 pounds. I'm just really like not where I was before in my life. I mean, I was originally 170 pounds my whole life, but I had gained a lot of weight with that drug, and I still have it on, and it destroyed some of my self confidence. But I know it's not what it's about, but it really is. Don't judge a book by its cover. Anyways, after a little bit after COVID, my regular OBGYN, she just like left and she's like, yeah, she's gone. She just left. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I need my Depo-Provera shot. And she's like, okay, well, we have another OBGYN here. And I'm like, oh, great. She left without even telling me. Like, she was treating me and she left. Anyways, I started seeing him. He originally doesn't treat endometriosis with Depo-Provera, so he ended up actually switching me, and I'm like, I don't want to switch. I'm having pain. By this time I seen him, it's like 2 years, and my endo's grown back and everything. Well, I ended up getting another surgery, and let me tell you, getting that surgery was like pulling teeth. And it was just like he didn't believe me. He was like, "Why are you crying?" My pain was non-existent. He even told me to have a baby because supposedly the myth is um, get pregnant, it'll go away. No, it doesn't go away. It just eliminates some of the estrogen in order, and then it always comes back. So, but that's by far this bad. How do you think I'm going to have a kid and I'm going to take care of myself? By this time, um, I'm still working, but I'm this close to losing my job because I can't perform the tasks that I need to do. And he gave me the surgery. I did another laparoscopy. He found endometriosis in my colon, destroyed my colon. So it just had my bowels all over the place. I was constipated. I had diarrhea. It was just like, oh my gosh, it's just disaster. And I didn't really know how I was feeling. I was at this point, I was just like, I don't even know who I am anymore. Like, after the surgery, he didn't tell me what stage I had, but my soon new OBGYN that was able to give me a hysterectomy and remove my ovaries, she told me that I had stage 4 endometriosis. He never told me what kind I had. I eventually quit seeing him and moved on to a different doctor because he was medically gaslighting me so much. He didn't give two rats butts about what I was going through. It was just there was no way, the anxious feeling about getting to the doctor and you need to hear something but you're not going to hear it. That's feeling it's like pulling your hair out. I eventually saw somebody else that referred me to my OBGYN. He referred me to I had a colonoscopy and I had an endoscopy to make sure nothing was wrong. Of course, nothing was wrong. But I'm here. I eventually lost my job because I was not showing up, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna make money? How am I? My mom is on a fixed income, and I'm like, my world is crushed because it's like I'm sitting here being diagnosed with this, and I can't do anything about it. I can't hold it down a 9 to 5 job. It's like, oh, you're on disability, you get to sleep in. No, it's like I sometimes wake up in pain. It's like I'm so tired. You're so weak. You got brain fog. You can't think. It's just you got to learn to live a new way. Anyways, sorry. Anyways, I finally found my OBGYN. She's like, we're gonna give you hysterectomy. You have in your colon that stage 4 endometriosis. We're gonna get rid of your parts and leave your ovaries in for a couple years because I don't want to be in surgical menopause right away. So we did that, and I was so happy. And this was in 2022. I was 31. I was just so happy, and I couldn't believe that. She's like, this is your body. This is not me. I'm not able to have kids. I can't even fathom having a child right now without being to take care of myself. Like I can't. I mean, anyway, she gave me surgery and I felt pretty good. I don't have any leg spasm. I don't have any pain running down my leg. I still have chronic pelvic pain, but like a year later, I was also put on after my hysterectomy, I was put on my fembrae. And see, that didn't make me gain weight, and that also didn't really have any bad side effects. The only side effect that I did notice 100% was hair thinning. Like I have long hair probably down to my waist, but it is so thin. It was so thin and it just anyways, that's another thing. But anyways, I felt pretty good and then about a year and a half passed by and I'm starting to get pain back and I didn't get any endometriosis removed because I don't have endometriosis around here. I live in North Dakota and it's really, really hard to find an endo specialist. But my OBGYN was pretty educated in endometriosis and women things and women health. Anyways, um, I stopped my Mofembree. She removed my ovaries in May of 2023. I mean, sorry, 2024 and I was put on an estradiol patch, and I changed that twice a week, which is really good. And to be honest, I my mental clarity is really good. I also suffer from depression, anxiety, and it's actually been really, really good. So I am very surprised. Um, a couple years ago, or in 2022, when I was let go from my Bible camp job, I decided to apply for disability. I had no other choice. I got denied, I got denied, I got denied, but I did work with a law firm. And I kid you not, you need to keep trying. You need to keep trying. You need to self advocate. You need to educate yourself about what you have. You need to document. You need to make sure you need to have all your ducks in a row. You just need to keep trying. You cannot work, don't work because they're going to see that you are capable of working and I know it's very hard but there are things out there, there are food pantries, there is help out there for you. You just need to know how to do it and you just need to apply. You need to do it afraid because I finally won my appeal and it was 2.5 years in the making. I kid you not, it probably could have gone on a lot longer, but by the grace of God knew that I could not do this and I had a very compassionate judge and I actually won it. And in between these past years, I'm 33 now. I'm going to be 34. I had to learn how to live a new life. I need to take a nap every day because I have such bad chronic fatigue. I have chronic pain. I'm nauseated all the time. There is good days and there is bad days, but I want you to know that you are not alone. There are times when you do feel like alone, but you need to reach out. Like endometriosis.net and myendometriosisteam.com is so good. It there is a community where you just come together and you're not alone. You are not alone. You just need to reach out. Don't isolate yourself, but you need to do what you need to do to take care of yourself also. Listen to your body. You need to do some self-care. You're going to be okay by the grace of God. You're going to be okay, and I promise this too shall pass. We all go through things. It's how you get out of it. It's how you move on. If you're having a crappy day, 5 minutes and get over it. But if you are not having a good day, you are in pain, what I do is I get up and I actually take a shower. And if I take a shower today, that means I did all I needed to do and I just rest. Hope that helps.